7:30 now. I think we pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So I think the topic of our talk tonight would be interesting to you. So the topic is Abhidhamma in daily life. So the first point to know is, what is Abhidhamma? So Abhidhamma literally means higher teaching of the Buddha. And it is correctly the higher teaching of the Buddha that the Buddha taught in Taotim Saram in his 7th Vassa, that is in the 7th year of his Buddhahood. He taught this Abhidhamma in the Taotim Sa for 3 months continuously without stop. How amazing! Without stop, continuously for 3 months. And at the end of his teaching, uncountable celestial beings, including the devas that we also call deities and brahmas, from 10,000 world systems, because the voice of the Buddha can be heard from 10,000 worlds. So they came to listen to the teaching of the Buddha. So after the end, just by listening to the Abhidhamma, they got enlightened as noble persons, And at the same time, he also made the effort that Abhidhamma was taught in the human realm simultaneously. So every day he came down to the human world, and actually he created another Buddha identical to him, and he made that Buddha to continue the teaching without stop. While he came down, so he had to go for alms round in the North Continent, and he took his ride, his food in the Southern Continent, at the Himalayas forest. And at that time, his right-hand disciple, Venerable Sariputta, he came flying in the air, and then attended to the Buddha. And after finishing his meal, the Buddha gave him the outlines of Abhidhamma that the Buddha taught in Taotim Saram for that day. So when the Buddha went back to Taotim Saram, the Venerable Sariputta also went back to his monastery, and he taught to 500 new disciples Abhidhamma. So Abhidhamma, the Sariputta, Venerable Sariputta is foremost in the wisdom. So what the Buddha gave him, the outlines, he can contemplate on it in thousands of ways. And he could even understand what the Buddha taught in the Taotim Saram. But when he taught in the human realm, he could not teach as in detail, as much in detail as the Buddha taught there, because the Buddha can speak very fast. So Sariputta cannot speak as fast as that. So just suitable to the human being. So when the Buddha finished teaching Abhidhamma in Taotinsa, Sariputta also finished teaching Abhidhamma in the human realm. So this Abhidhamma, taught by Sariputta, is also regarded as to be taught by the Buddha himself. Because unless the Buddha gave the instructions, Sariputta could not teach. And what is taught by Venerable Sariputta is appreciated by the Buddha. So in our Theravada the tradition, we regard it as the third Pitaka. So we have three Pitakas. So 3 collections of the teaching of the Buddha: the Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. Now, the marvelous thing about Abhidhamma is the Buddha, he analyzed all living beings and all non-living things. He analyzed them. When we say analyze them, he divided them into their components. Divided them into the final components that cannot be divided any further. And we call that ultimate realities. So in Pali we call Paramattha. The Paramattha. These ultimate realities, they really exist in the whole universe. And they really exist in all of us. In all of us. And as they are the basic components of all the living beings and non-living things, all psychophysical the phenomena in the whole universe can be explained based on these ultimate realities. Just like in science. Science, they try to analyze matter and energy into their ultimate components also. And they thought first atoms are the ultimate components. But only in the 20th century, they discovered that atoms can be divided into electrons, protons, and neutrons. And they also they proposed the structure of atoms, make up of these electron, proton, and neutrons. So modern science is based on this electronic structure. And we taught science based on this electronic structure. So when we taught in terms of these subatomic particles, we could understand Buddhism, the science very, very well. Before, just like when we learn chemistry, in the school we just say, when you burn hydrogen, water is formed. We just say that. But now, when we get atomic in the atomic structure, we can say, oh, when we burn the hydrogen, oxygen combines together to form water. And we also know why, like the alkaline elements are electropositive, and the halogen like chlorine, bromine, iodine are electronegative. So they transfer the electron. So the like sodium transfer its electron to chlorine. When sodium becomes positively charged and chlorine becomes negatively charged, and they combine to form sodium chloride, our common salt. So we understand very, very well the same thing. So when we understand these ultimate realities that make up our body and mind, then we can understand all the teachings of the Buddha, all the phenomena happening in the whole universe. We can understand very, very well. So when you understand Abhidhamma, you will understand the teaching of the Buddha very, very well, very comprehensively. In depth, we say. When we say in depth, it is up to the ultimate level, that is in terms of ultimate realities. So if you understand Abhidhamma, then you will find that Abhidhamma knowledge is very useful in daily life. Now, when we learned Abhidhamma, the first thing we know is no, conventional realities and ultimate realities. There are two kinds of realities. No? So, no, in our daily life, no, we used to think that seeing is believing, we think. But no, you should be careful. Seeing can also be deceiving. No? Seeing can also be deceiving. For example, we see the earth to be flat, not to be stationary. And no, we think that no, the sun is moving around the earth. So when science studied it, it was just the opposite. No, the earth is not flat, it is round. And it is not stationary, it is a planet. It is a planet moving very fast in space at the rate of 18,000 miles per hour. So it is moving around the sun, not the sun moving around the earth. So no, what we see is deceiving. No, seeing can be deceiving. And the same thing, no, like when we begin Abhidhamma. So no, Abhidhamma said all living beings and all non-living things, they are conventional realities. No, by conventional realities, no, we mean that all the people, no, they agree. These living beings, non-living things really exist. No, really exist. But no, when you examine with your wisdom, or in other words, if you analyze them with wisdom, they will disappear. They will disappear. So as they disappear, they do not really exist. So, no, for example, the Buddha said, no, man, woman, and like the animals, not like the trees, like the houses, everything do not really exist by their own right in the ultimate sense. So no, this you should be careful. They don't exist by their own right in the ultimate sense, we say. No, in the ultimate sense. Because no, as soon as no, you analyze them, they disappear. No, for example, the house. If you take away the walls and the roof, the house will disappear. No, like a motor car, no, like a saloon car. You can break it down into its different parts. Not parts, they are machine parts. Then the saloon car will disappear. And the same thing, like a human being. The Buddha shows the way how to analyze a person into head hair, body hair, the nails, the teeth, the skin, the flesh, and then the bones, and then the arteries, the veins, the blood, the heart, the livers, 32 parts. 32 parts. So, if you analyze them and if you say you divide them and keep them 32 parts in a row, which one would you say is Dr. Mon? If you analyze me, no part is Dr. Mon. Is there Dr. Mon apart from these 32 parts, some other place? No. So that means Dr. Mon does not really exist. Does not really exist. No? So that is very important actually. No? Even in meditation, the Buddha, he gave one meditation we call Kayagata Sti. No? In that meditation, we have to see these 32 parts, one after another. So when we see all 32 parts in ourselves and also in others, then whoever we look at, they appear only as assemblage of 32 parts. No more human being anymore. So no human beings, only 32 parts. So we can see in different levels, that shows. So in that, the meditation also, when you focus on the skeleton, you to see your skeleton and the skeleton of everybody, then when you look at everyone, you can see only skeletons. Just like you are looking with X-ray eye. So when you look at X-ray eye, you can see only a skeleton. The same thing you can see in meditation, just like skeleton. And then, of course, when we go to Vipassana, No? So we need the mind to be very powerful, so we have to use the jhana mind actually. No? So that jhana mind, they radiate very bright and penetrative light. So only with the help of that, the bright and penetrative light, we can see internally into our body. So we can see all these 32 parts. We can see the skeleton. Now, when you go to Vipassana, you have to break down again. All these 32 parts has to be broken down into particles. So when we get to that state, the body disappears. Only particles arising and dissolving. They are arising and perishing very, very quickly. And these particles are not the ultimate reality, yes. They would be similar to electron, proton, and neutron. So, according to science, they say electron, proton, neutron is the ultimate state they saw. But in Buddhism, it is not the ultimate state. So they are still composed of 8 or 9 or 10 types of ultimate materialities. So in Vipassana, we have to penetrate up to these ultimate realities. So when you see up to the level of ultimate realities, these particles disappear. You disappear. You disappear. No? But you can see those ultimate, the materiality we call them, arising, dissolving very rapidly. So there are different levels of the seeing. So when you can see that, then you can see also your mind. And the Buddha analyzed the mind again. So even the mind cannot be detected by any the scientific instrument. Now the Buddha, he even analyzed the mind. How amazing. And he said the mind is composed of the consciousness and mental factors. And there are 52 types of mental factors that can associate with consciousness. So consciousness and the mental factors, they combine in various the combinations. So altogether, we say there are 121 the combination. So if we come to all these are the complete chart on the Chaita. Chaita means consciousness. So altogether, there are 121 types of combinations of consciousness and mental factors. And they explain the various states of the mind. When you are angry, when you are happy, when you are enjoying the happiness, etc. So all these states can be described by this combination of consciousness and mental factors. So the Buddha, he analyzed mind into consciousness and 52 mental factors, and the body into 28 types of ultimate materiality. So these really exist in their own right, and they, in the ultimate sense, they exist. So when you divide a person into this ultimate mentality, materiality, the person disappears. The person disappears. And not only that, this mentality, materiality arise and dissolve very rapidly. Very rapidly. So, what is form? They perish immediately. Soon after they are formed. There are causes that produce them, and they perish as soon as they arise. And nothing which is permanent remains. So that shows that in some religions, they said that, there is the soul. Like in like the Hindu, they call the atta, the jiva, the atta, the soul, not the ego. So they exist, and they are always permanent, they say. So even after death, so these are the soul or the atta, no, will enter in you body and become reincarnated. So they never die. Not just like the Hindu, they say this atta finally will combine with the Brahma. So that is their nibbana, no, their escape from all the round of rebirth. So now the Buddha said, no such thing. No such thing. Nothing, no, which is permanent remains. Everything, no, perish. So if everything perish, can you say a man exists? You exist? I exist? No, no, we do not exist. So that is, no, that is the beauty of the teaching of the Buddha. No, when he taught, no, he always gave, no, the practical aspects. How you yourself can see as taught by him. No, he said, don't believe what I taught. No, try to see by yourself. Only when you see, you believe them. And in meditation, no, meditators can really see as taught by the Buddha. So, no, these are the reality. No other, no wise people know actually. No philosopher, no psychologist, no scientist know about these things. No, even like the science, they say electron, proton, neutron. Actually, they cannot see. They see only, but like the rays coming up. But they don't know that electron, proton, neutrons are arising and dissolving very rapidly. So now we have to understand these two. No? The first is conventional realities, all living beings and non-living things. No? In conventional realities, they really exist. Now, ultimate realities, means they do not really exist. Only ultimate mentalities and ultimate materiality really exists in the whole universe, in every one of us and in the whole universe. Now, based on this, we get two kinds of truth. No, we say conventional truth and the ultimate truth. So, conventional truth, takes conventional realities to really exist. So, the Buddha, he didn't ignore the existence of the conventional reality. So you should take them not to exist in the conventional level. So in everyday communication with one another, we have to regard everyone exists. No, so man, woman exists, you, I exist, and not only that. No, so mothers and fathers, parents, children, teachers, and the students. No, like the monks, the Buddha, etc. No, all exist. They all exist. And the Buddha said the parents have parent duty, to bring up the children well. And the children has children duty to look after the parents when they grow old. No? So just like Confucius teaching, also like this. No? And then like the student should respect and obey the teachers. And the teacher should teach all he knows to the students. So we should regard every person have the right to live peacefully. And we should not commit any harm to any living being. So the Buddha goes up to that level. So when we observe the 5 precepts, we say, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. So that means we should not kill any living being, even the mosquito that bites us. We should not kill. No, the ants that bite us. Don't kill them. They have the right to live. So don't kill them. No. So the Buddha, he gave respect to all living beings. That is very beautiful about the teaching of the Buddha. So he even said we should develop loving kindness. Loving kindness to all living beings. So, if you can live with loving kindness to all living beings, so all living beings will also return the love to you, and you can live very peacefully. And we can get world peace right away, actually, if we can live like that. That is the conventional truth. But ultimate truth takes only ultimate realities to exist. Ultimate realities to exist. So, no, in daily life, no, in daily life, not just like the the Sangha Maharaja in Myanmar. No, we call him the Kanti Sayadaw. Now he said, no, in daily life when we communicate with each other, no, we have to use conventional names. No, we give the names, no, to everybody. So, no, man, woman, we have to use these words. Though you use these conventional words, and no, you should also understand that the conventional realities do not really exist. Only ultimate realities really exist in the ultimate sense. No, in the ultimate sense. If you believe the conventional reality to really believe, no, as they do not exist, you will have the wrong view. Only when you understand that only ultimate realities exist in the ultimate sense, only then you have the right view. You have the right view. So though you use conventional words to speak with each other, you should also understand up till the ultimate level. Up to the ultimate level. That means ultimate reality exists, and they are arising and perishing very rapidly. So they have the characteristics of impermanence. So since all mentality material arise and dissolve, they have the characteristic of impermanence, anicca we call. And then also suffering, dukkha. So you should understand that. We say when what is not permanent is not satisfactory. Not satisfactory. And we are attached to this body and mind as ourselves. Now they are disintegrating, dissolving, perishing, very rapidly, perishing. So that means when all your beloved ones are not dying, you will not be happy. So it amounts to suffering actually. Being tortured by their incessant dissolution, perishing, really amounts to suffering. And we have to see this characteristic very clearly in vipassana, insight meditation. Only then you can develop insight knowledges, and then you can get rid of the attachment to this body, to all existences. So, according to this teaching of the Buddha, the Buddha, he said the first noble truth. What is the first noble truth? So, when we do not understand the Abhidhamma, we do not know very well. So the Buddha said, in his first sermon, he described the four noble truths. So he said the first noble truth, in short, is the five aggregates. The five aggregates of grasping is suffering. That's all. The first, the five aggregates of suffering, the five aggregates of grasping that we grasp as ourselves are suffering. And if you can see this mentality materiality, they can be classified as five aggregates. To show that there are only five aggregates, no person, the Buddha, he described the five aggregates. So as they arise and dissolve, all of them, so you can understand what the Buddha said. Oh, that's correct. All existences amounts to just suffering. So when you can see that, you can also understand the second noble truth. So the Buddha said, the cause of suffering is craving, greed. Because so long you have greed, so craving, the attaching to your body, loving your body. So the Buddha said, everybody loves himself most. So you should understand that. We should also understand that. Atta samapi manati, the Buddha said, everyone loves himself most. So if a gentleman told you, oh, I love you more than my life, don't believe him. He is cheating. He is cheating. So everybody loves himself most. That's very correct. No, so we have to, like the mother, they like their child, their children very much, we think. So, the love of the mother with the children, is very much. But they say when the earth, came to the stage of burning, even the mother will be put, their child and stand on the child, just to escape the hot, the heatness and the death. And I thought it is impossible for us. We will not kill our children, but it was correct, because I read a book about the killing of the Jews and in Poland and in the German Empire there. So they try to take all the Jews. They take all the Jews, and then they say Auschwitz. That is a town where they have a building. So now they say you all have to take bath. So they have been traveling for several days. Now take out all your clothing. So they ask you to keep to put the blouse here, the pants here, the short pants here. So all like that. Now get down, they say. Get down to the. They have the basement, big building. So when they got down, they looked. They say they didn't see any water pipe. Oh, then the Germans, they dropped down cyanide cans. They opened the cyanide cans and they just dropped down. So this hydrogen cyanide, very poisonous gas. As soon as they get there, they try to vaporate. So the vapor is coming up. So when it comes to your nose, as soon as you nose it, no oxygen. So you gasp for air. So people try to scramble with each other. And they even found some mothers put their children and scramble over that. So everybody loves himself most. No, you cannot deny this. That's correct. No, according to the Buddha, everybody loves himself most. No, so we are attached very, very much to this craving. And because of this craving and attachment to our existence, we are born again and again. So when you are born, the mentality, materiality are formed again. So they can be classified as 5 aggregates. So that means suffering. So the Buddha said, craving is the cause of suffering. And now, if you can see that this body as really suffering, you are not attached anymore. You can cut off your attachment. So when you can cut off your attachment, Buddha said, you will get the Tatat noble truth. That is the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. The Tat noble truth. No more suffering anymore. So that means Nibbana. You realize Nibbana and you become identical with Nibbana. So no more death anymore. So no more suffering. So we have to see these realities in Vipassana. In Vipassana. Now, based on these two kinds of truths, we also have two kinds of worlds. Two kinds of worlds. And these two kinds of worlds, actually, I try to put it up from my thought, actually. So we say real world and the elusive world. Real world and elusive world. So the real world, in the real world, only ultimate realities exist. So in the real world, if we can see the real world, then we don't see any person. As we can see only ultimate mentality, materiality that had no form, no shape, no person, no living thing. So no one to love, no one to get attached to. So when in the real world. So then if you have no attachment, then no hatred towards anyone, then only peace and happiness will be there in the ultimate world. But now we live in the elusive world. No, we think, no, we regard all living beings to really exist. No, to really exist. And we don't know that, no, all of us are made up of mentality and materiality. They are rising and perishing very rapidly. And so we also have the characteristics of impermanent, suffering, and not self. No self, not self. No, we don't know that. So we all regard, so no, when we don't know this, we take the opposite. No? And the Buddha said we are blinded, no, by the defilements. So there are 10 mental factors. The Buddha called them defilements. No? So the three of them are this lopa, dosa, moha, the leaders of defilement. Lopa is greed, craving, and attachment. No? And dosa is anger, hatred, evil. And moha is ignorance or delusion. No? So this moha, no, ignorance, it makes our mind blind, not to see the realities, not to see, not to know that we are made up of mentality and materiality. And it also makes us blind, not to see, no, that about the incessant mean continuous, no, dissolution of this mentality and materialities. All our body, no, all material that make up our body, they are perishing every second. No, all of them perish, and new ones are being formed. So as they are, no, perish and being formed all very quickly, we cannot see it. And also because we are blinded by this ignorance. So when we don't see the real characteristics, no, because of this ignorance, so we are deluded, no, to regard that, oh, we are permanent. Since we were born, no, we exist. That means we are permanent, we say. And then, instead of suffering, we say, no, living is quite joyful. Like in Singapore, no, you can live very happily. No, you can enjoy good food and good, no, entertainment also. So life is quite pleasant, you say. So instead of suffering, we take it to be, no, to be pleasant, to be joyful. And then, instead of not self, no person, no I. Oh, this is I, no, because this is a person. So we take, no, this to be present. And not only that, we also take that, oh, we are handsome, no, and our beloved ones, no, our lovers and the sweethearts are very beautiful. And American, the Chinese actors and actresses, very beautiful. So when you think, oh, the things are very beautiful, no, like the new girls are very desirable. So it develops craving. No, it develops that craving. So, no, your desire to get, no, to get them. And the Buddha said, when, no, you come in contact with desirable, pleasant things, at that time, pleasant feeling arise in our mind. Pleasant feeling we call sukha. And we enjoy it with this greed, no, with this consciousness, greed-rooted consciousness. We enjoy it. No, we enjoy it with joy. With joy. Joy is piti. Joy, and then, no, the sukha. So there's the appreciation, satisfaction of greed, because greed wants to see, want to enjoy. So it is the momentarily is gratified, and that amounts to sensual pleasure. No, what we say sensual pleasure is just that, no, this pleasant feeling, and enjoying it with this greed-rooted consciousness. When we have, no, greed-rooted consciousness, and remember this ignorance also associate with that greed-rooted consciousness, it associate. And also we have the wrong view, no, deity also associate. No, deity, the wrong view takes, this is I am enjoying. No, you are having that notion. No, this is the wrong view, I am enjoying. So we are very much attached to the sensual pleasure. No, we think, oh, sensual pleasure is, no, the real, no, happiness in life. So, no, to live happily means to enjoy sense pleasure. So we should enjoy sense pleasure as much as possible. No, Not just like the other day I told you, like the king of Israel. No? So Solomon, he said, there's nothing which is better than sense enjoyment. Just drink wine and then dance with your beloved spouses and try to enjoy sense pleasure. No? So when the Russian, the prime minister came to our country, he also said, oh, sense enjoyment, sense pleasure is the best enjoyment. Just try to enjoy as much as possible in life. So in daily life, they like to enjoy sense pleasure. Just trying to enjoy sense pleasure as much as possible. Now the modern people, nowadays, as far as I could see, I'm quite lucky to go around the world, 2-3 times around the world. And I have been to the big cities, now in Singapore, and recently in Jakarta, and then like in the Tokyo, the New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and London. So I have been onto these places. I even taught Abhidhamma in these places, actually. I taught, yeah. So when I look at those people in the big cities, they are rushing, running all the time. So in our country, we are very peaceful. So we don't rush. We enjoy very life. So when I attended the university in United States, so as I walk very leisurely, the co-ed, the girl student, they push me. They walk, push me. So everybody is rushing, for the walk, not to get money, So their outlook in life is, money is very important in life. So if you have money, you can enjoy all types of sense pleasure. So their thinking is, oh, we must get a good education, and then get a good job, and then get good salary, and then save money and try to buy a flat, and then marry the person you like, you love, then produce 1 or 2 children, and then live happily enjoying those television and all those sensual pleasure. So that is life. They are thinking that would be very good life. They don't know what will happen after death. They don't know that we have lived uncountable existence already. And when we die, we shall be born again. So if they live like that, without paying any attention to perform meritorious deeds, definitely when they die, they will be born in the woeful state. So when we learn Abhidhamma, we come to understand the teaching of the Buddha in Nakasika Sutta. So the Buddha, he placed some earth on his thumbnail. He asked the monks, now what do you think? The number of grains in the earth on my thumb, and the number of grains in the whole earth, which is more, he said. So the monk said, the number of grains on your thumb is very little. So the number of grains of earth in the whole earth is much, the greater. Yes, you try to note it, the Buddha said. When living beings, when we say living beings, it includes all human beings, all animals, all woeful ghosts, all celestial beings. So when these beings die, if those people who are born in blissful realms, blissful realm means the human realm and celestial realm and the Brahma realm, these are the blissful realm, we call them. So if the number of persons who are born in the blissful realms amount to the number of grains of sand on my thumb, the number of persons who were born in the 4 woeful realms, 4 woeful abodes, we also call them. That is the hell, in the woeful ghost, demons, and animal world. So who were born in these four boats will be greater than the number of saints in the whole earth. So that means 99.999% of the people will go to the to the woeful state when they die. So they don't know. No, because they don't know, they are just very happy. They think they are very happy. No, just like we have been saying, a blind man will not be afraid of the ghost. He is not afraid of the ghost. He didn't see the ghost. So the same thing, he didn't know that he's going to be born in the woeful state, so he is not afraid. No, he is not afraid. And the Buddha, he also said, once a person was born in a woeful state, it would be very difficult for that person to be reborn as a human being again. So he gave example. Now if you dropped a thread, a very long thread, from the Brahma realm. So in the human realm, you just hold a needle with the hole, with the hole for the thread to get in. But would it be easy for the thread to get into this hole? So almost impossible. Almost impossible. So far away, the thread will not get into the hole. That would be easy, the Buddha said, compared to a person in the woeful state to become a human being again. And he gave also another example. You put it, you let go, you let free a blind tortoise in the northern sea, and let that tortoise, he lived under the sea, and he came up only once in 100 years, to breathe, just to breathe once. Now you also. So now they throw down a bamboo piece with a hole, in the southern sea, and let it be floating wherever it lies. Now would it be possible for that tortoise, when he put up his head, to get into the hole of that bamboo? So that would be easy, the Buddha said, compared to a person in the woeful state to come to a human realm again. And he also said, Chattaro apaya saka geha sa disa. The four woeful abodes are the permanent homes of many living beings. The permanent homes of many living beings. So some of them are now, they became human beings, just like taking an excursion on earth. And then when they die, they will all go back to their permanent home again. So, and we should be very careful about that. We should be careful about that. So when you know reality, you are not fascinated by the sense enjoyment anymore. Just like in the first sermon of the Buddha. When he described that he found the middle way. He said, the enjoying sense pleasure is one extreme, he said. Now enjoying sense pleasure is base, low, not holy, not ignoble, not noble, and not enjoyed by the noble persons, only enjoyed by warlings, only enjoyed by warlings, and it is unprofitable. So the Buddha, he told like that. Now when we learn Abhidhamma, as I told you, this enjoyment of sense pleasure is enjoyment, that pleasant feeling. That arises just for a moment and it perishes. And we enjoy it with greed-rooted consciousness, which is associated with the greed and the ignorance. They are the hottest fires, the Buddha said. And we don't know we are being burnt by the hottest fires. So now the people, they are trying to get much money. So they crave for money and they are attached to this money. So they attach to the money, that is also with greed and ignorance. Now when we get economic depression, they lost millions of dollars overnight. So when they are attached to this wealth, when you lost them, you get great pain, craving, will give rise to grief and fear, the Buddha said. Grief is mental pain. No, mental pain will arise. Very bad. So at that time, anger-rooted consciousness will arise, accompanied by dosa, no, the anger, and very painful mental feeling. They cannot endure it. Many, no, the billionaires committed suicide. No, very recently, during economic depression, we can read in the news, in the journals, no, many billionaires from the United States, from England, from Japan, Germany, oh, they committed suicide. So, no, that means, no, this money, however much you get, no, it is burning you actually. No, this sense pleasure. No, though you are enjoying, you don't get real happiness. You never get real happiness. Why? No, so you are enjoying with this greed-rooted consciousness, we say. And this greed, now when it gets what it wants, it's just temporarily satisfied. And the greed, it never give up. No? It's the intrinsic nature of craving, desiring for, no, the sense objects. So as soon as one desire is gratified, another desire arises. And you try to satisfy it, another desire will arise. And bigger desire. Because we have the saying also, the more it gets, no, the more it wants. The more it wants to get. So, no, and finally you find that all sense pleasure are just fed up. So they try to get new excitement. They try to use intoxicating drinks and drugs. So their life is finished. No happiness. And when they die, they go to hell. So they don't know about that. So we should know about these things. No? So it is not, no, a way of life. It's not a good life. So when we know about these things, we can, check our greed. We can control to a certain extent. But we cannot get up all the greed until we become arahats. Only in arahats this greed can be totally eliminated. So as Volin, we still have some greed. So we also still like to watch Chinese movies and Korean movies. But when we watch them, it's different. It's different. No? So we know that, oh, these are just makeup. No, not real happiness. So no, we can control our greed. So that is very nice. No, with the knowledge of Abhidhamma, then we can control our greed, so that we can also check not to enjoy sense pleasure all the time. Now, after that, we should know about our mind. We should know about our mind. That is described very, very in detail in Abhidhamma. So the mind is made up of consciousness and mental factors. And only the mind knows the sense objects. Only if the mind knows it. Materiality do not know the sense object. And only the mind can think. Can think and can reason. And then it is the mind that produces the action. And in Abhidhamma, the Buddha described very beautifully. All our actions, all our movements are controlled by the mind. We think, oh, the brain controls all this movement. But remember, the brain is controlled by the mind, and is given the command by the mind. And when you, like in meditation, like in the Spark Meditation Center, when the teacher asked the meditators to find out the causes that give rise to materiality. One cause is the mind. The mind gives rise to materiality. So every mind, when it arises, it produces mind-born materiality. So that mind-born materiality, when they are arising, dissolving, with your naked eye, you can never see it. But when you, with the concentrated mind eye, you can see them. So the teacher asks you to bend the finger. And so at that time, you can see from your mind. So the mind-born material, the write this up, write this up, write this up, write this up, and by that you can bend it. The same thing, all movement of our bodies just like that. No, we didn't see they are rising and dissolving, and then dissolving, rising again. No, so all our actions are controlled by the mind. So as the mind controls the thoughts and the actions of all living beings, so it rules the world. It controls the world. No, and not only that, the mind now produces like the languages, the culture, and then arts and sciences. And now we are having the modern science and technology and computer science. And now we come to the stage of the iPhone, iPad, etc., where you can communicate with your friends on the other side of the world. Just speak to them. You can also see them while you are speaking. So you are enjoying all these things. These are the production of the mind. No, the mind is very wonderful. And what the people didn't know that the mind actually creates us. It creates all living beings. Not only that, the mind determines the fates and destinies of all living beings. All living beings. So that we should know actually. Now, when we talk about the mind, so there are, we say there are 12 types of immoral minds. So they are rooted in immoral roots, we call them. These are immoral mental factors. Greed, anger, ignorance. They are immoral roots. So they give rise to immoral minds. And we perform all evil actions by immoral minds. And when we perform one evil action, for example, like killing a fish, by like the anger-rooted consciousness. So this consciousness will arise by billions, because the Buddha said, the mind can arise and dissolve very rapidly, at the rate of 1 trillion. 1 trillion means 1,000 billion. Even in one snap of the hand. Even in one snap of the hand, in one wing. So, very first. So, when they are rising, dissolve very rapidly. You can never see like that. So, when they dissolve, they leave behind immoral karmas in our mental stream. So, if the 1,000 billion minds arise and dissolve in the killing, 1,000 billion immoral karmas will be deposited in our mind, in our mental stream, we say. We say mental stream because the mind, they arise and dissolve. The first mind, so it performs the action, and then it leaves the karma property in the next arising mind. So this mind also performs its action, and then it leaves behind its karma property and the previous karma property in the next arising mind. The mind arises and dissolves one another very quickly, but this karma property is always transmitted from mind to mind. So they remain in our mental stream. They will remain in our mental stream all the time. So when you say, where karmas exist? So what is your answer? Where the karmas that you did, you performed, exist? In your mental stream. And also in your material stream also, the Buddha said. Because in some existences, we don't have mentality, we have only materiality. There is one Brahma realm we call Asanya Sattva. They have only bodies. No mind. No mind. So both in the mental stream and the material stream, because our mind or this process cannot be broken. Even at the time of death, as soon as we die, we say death consciousness dissolve, and then the new karma will produce rebirth consciousness, in the new existence, and there would be no left, no gap between this, the death and the rebirth, no gap. No time gap. So that means all these karma properties will be transmitted to the new existence. So it is transmitted from one existence to another existence. And all our knowledge that we learn are also transmitted in the same way. All your feeling, experience that you enjoy are also transmitted. So they are all recorded in our mind. So when you can replay it, just like you replay a recorded CD or something like that, then you can see again, you can know again. Just like in the case of the Buddha, as soon as he saw a person, he knew what you have done in the past. So what good things you have done, what bad things you have done, what will happen to you, he knows. And on the other day I said that man, Agagesi, they call the miracle man. Under hypnosis, he could also see their past existences. They said what they learned in the past come to the present existence. So if you know that knowledge you learned there, now if you practice now, so you can be very excellent in this work. So that is our life process. So when we perform meritorious deeds, now we are listening to the Dhamma talk. So during this time, we don't have greed, anger, or ignorance. So we say we have moral minds now. So moral minds, so we say it is the sense-pure moral minds arise by billions. Every second, while you are listening to the Dhamma talk now, many billions of the moral minds arise and dissolve. And they leave behind the moral karmas in the mental stream again. So billions and billions of moral minds in your mental stream. So these the good karma, they will keep on producing. Each good karma can produce a blissful existence in a blissful realm. So by this karma you can be born in blissful realm. So uncountable existences. So if we know that, we should refrain from the immoral minds, and we should do the moral minds. We should develop moral minds. Actually, the art of living, the art of living happily and most beneficially is to live with moral minds. When we live with moral minds, it's very, very beneficial. Just like getting billions of US dollars every second, putting in the bank for us to use in all the future existences. So you become the real